And we are back here doing another podcast. This is the Locked and Loaded interview sessions. I think I'm calling it the interview sessions. And I'm here with my good buddy, star of Kumite, and general all-about-town gentleman, Ryan Williams, here in my bedroom talking to me about improv and Locked and Loaded. How are you doing, Ryan? Good. I'm so happy to hear that. You talk louder than the band kids, and we don't have the nice microphones anymore, so that's good.
I talk loud.
That's really good, man. You're doing really well. And, God, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. So what we've been doing with these interviews, I told Ryan I wasn't going to tell him what we're doing, but we're going to talk about improv, why you do improv, and what kind of general path you've taken, and now you're here at Locked and Loaded. What are we going to do, you know?
I do improv because I love it. I have to.
Well,
I don't have the patience to write.
Me either.
I that's pretty much it.
Well, I mean,
I get bored with other people's material.
Well, I mean, but when did you start doing improv? Like, what was it you were like, I'm going to try this improv thing out, you know? When did that start?
I'll tell you exactly what happened. I was going to school. I had a major. I was majoring in theater. It was my first year of school, and it was the first summer, and I wasn't taking summer school. And I was bored, and so I was jerking around online, looking through audition
pornography.
Yeah, not literally jerking around.
Looking at porn.
Yes, I was farting around. And
that's a different kind of porn.
I think this was before Craigslist.
Okay.
And so I just typed in like Denver auditions just to see what was going on. And there was this little posting for this little comedy theater in Denver, Colorado called the Bovine Metropolis. BovineMetropolis.com.
Nice. Good plug.
They're great guys. I don't work for them anymore, but they're great guys.
Okay. Good plug for them.
And I called, and the guy who owns the place, named Eric Ferrone, has a wife named Denise Mays. And Denise Mays is one of the nicest people you've ever met, and she's got the sweetest voice.
You love
she's
people.
Very convincing.
Yeah.
And so I called, and I was like, I see this audition. I never auditioned for anything. I'd never been in a show. I see this thing for comedic actors, no experience necessary. I just calling to get some information. She's like, "Oh, it's great. You'll love it. It's we're doing auditions. It's for this sketch show. We write it. We perform it. It's a comedy show." I was like, "I really don't have any experience." Right. She's like, "It doesn't matter. Come down. Let me sign you up. What's your name?" And she was like convincing. Okay. And I was like, "I don't even have a headshot." She's like, "Draw your face on a napkin. You'll be fine."
That's the best.
And, yeah. And
you're an artist. You can do that.
I didn't. I took a picture. I had a picture of myself.
You could have done it, though. You can draw.
And in the audition, they said to prepare, 14 measures of a cappella music or a song to sing. And I didn't know. So
Blinded by the Light?
I memorized this Sublime song.
Oh, cool. Which one?
And,
which song?
Man, I think it's called Dinosaur, but I can't remember.
Do you still know these 14 bars?
Yeah. I don't know what 14 bars means. I just memorized some music, you know. Lying in my plastic bed, thinking how things were so cool to me. My baby likes to shoot pool. I like lying naked in my bedroom, tying off the dinosaur tonight. It used to be so cool, but now I've got the needle, and I can't shake, and I can't breathe. You walk it away, but I want more and more. One day I'm gonna lose the war.
That was awesome. That was great, man. That was really fun. You couldn't see me. I was dancing most of that. I was just fucking rocking out.
Yeah. No, that was the exact song I sang, and it's pretty much an a cappella song on the album. Anyway, I go to this audition and was nervous as hell. Made it through. Got a callback. Did this callback audition, and got a call 3 days later, and it was the director asking me to be one of the main players in the show. They cast understudies too, and I was like, you're gonna have to give me a day to think about this. I was nervous as piss, and it took me about an hour before I was like, what the fuck, right? You quit being a pussy, man. Do this shit. And so I did, and I'd never done improv before, never done any of that. Got cast for this sketch comedy show. Come to find out, the very first rehearsal, the way they write the show is through improv. Kind of the same way Second City does or something like that.
Sure.
And so the first thing they did, they had us get up in 2 lines and do 2-person scenes.
Wow, okay.
And I literally was like, what do you mean? Just get up and talk.
It's scary.
I was like, I don't get it. I don't
Yeah.
get what you mean. And I was like, can I watch for a minute?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, that's fine. Sit back and watch. And I watched them do 2-line scenes for about 2 or 3 minutes. And eventually he was like, all right, I'll get the back of the line. And I was like, all right. So I went out there.
Okay.
And the very first fucking scene I ever did in improv, it was 2 chairs sitting in front of each other. And I was in the front chair. And we were flying in a jet. And I was, and literally, the guy who was in the scene with me actually farted. You couldn't hear it, but you could smell it. And it just fit the scene, and I was like, did you fart?
Wow.
And he was like, scene. He's like, here at the Bovine, we do a really clean show. And I was like, I didn't know anything. I was like, and I looked at him, I was like, he actually farted. And he's
That's
like,
funny.
he's like, oh, okay, good, get back in line.
Yeah.
And I don't think, come to find out, he curses like a sailor. But I think he just wanted to instill in all of us that we do the clean show, and so
That's,
you should learn how to do improv the clean way before you start saying shit. And
so
talk.
from the get-go, though, you were raging. From the get-go, you knew your style.
Oh, dude, yeah, right.
From the get-go,
right at the get-go, the first improv line out of my mouth is, "Did you fart?"
Yeah.
But come on, that's like a fail-proof line.
And
anytime farts are fucking funny, man.
And how many times do you think you said "Did you fart" in scenes after that?
Actually, not as many as you'd think.
You don't think so? You don't think it's
not as many as you think?
The next time you say it in a scene, though, I bet you think about it.
Maybe, but I don't think I'd ever say it unless it really just fit, or I needed someone to edit the fuck out of me.
Well, there you go.
That's a good way to get fucking edited.
Okay, so you do this, and you started improv. So when did you make the leap to Chicago?
About 4 years ago.
Okay.
I did it there for 6 years. I did it in Denver for 6 years. Did 4 original sketch comedy shows. Understudied some stuff. Worked with the Impulse Theater there. Understudied the Second City at Denver, the Denver Center for Performing Arts.
Yeah, I knew you did that. Yeah, that's very.
They came out, and I got picked to understudy, and just blew my chance by being a numbnuts and not being prepared. And so I literally did.
At least you're honest.
Yeah. No, I got cast as an understudy out of like 100 people that auditioned. They picked 3 of us, and I was one of them. And I was young and dumb and fucked off in my mind, my one big chance.
Yeah, well.
And so I vowed, and Beth said to me when she fired me, she was like, you're great, you had an awesome audition, one of the best I've ever seen, you're obviously talented, you just need more experience, come to Chicago, take classes,
Is this Beth Kligerman?
Yeah,
okay.
She was like, it doesn't have to be Second City, there's the Annoyance, there's IO, just come out here and take classes and learn, and, and then that was about it. She was like, goodbye, good luck. Huh. And I was totally down on myself and fucking...
She's a nice lady. I like Beth Kligerman.
Yeah. And so I think eventually I vowed to move out here, and I dawdled around with it a while and got significantly fucked up on drugs and alcohol and shit like that to a point where I was starting a downward spiral, and eventually one day I just literally within a week I was like, I gotta get away from here. Sold all my shit and hopped in the back of my buddy Paul's moving truck and just came out here.
Wow, dude, that is the American story right there. You're fucking Johnny Improv Seed. Improv Seed going across the country in the back of a moving truck. Yeah. So you get here and you've done stuff then in Denver. You've been around. You've seen things. Now, this is how it is. So I'm not saying this, but when you show up in Chicago to become an improviser, pretty much anything you've done, it means nothing, right? I mean, you kind of have to
I mean, especially if you're from Denver. And you have to have something to say to people that people are like, oh, I know that, therefore you are accredited.
Yeah, but you still...
that, your performance stands alone.
Sure. But, when you showed up, where did you go to really start your momentum in the city?
First show I ever did was Kumate. Here in Chicago.
Still doing Kumate.
Still doing Kumate to this day.
Which is?
Which I started in Denver.
But tell the people what Kumate is.
The Kumate is a one-man improvised kung fu theater. It's a long-form improv that I do based on one suggestion, and I do about 20 to 40, depending on how much time they'll give me at the location, minutes worth of long-form improv, where I play all the characters, make all the sound effects, I do all the fighting, I play a pan flute. It really puts you into an old kung fu movie, which is the kind of shit I grew up on.
Yeah, and that's that's the cool thing, and that's why I think that you kind of get the game in Chicago a little bit better than most is you have something outside of it. Like you've still got your baby, you know.
Yeah.
Like you're building your skills up. You're building a resume. But if something was going to pop, I feel like that's a show where you could find a good draw for it, you know.
Yeah. The hard part about that is just one man getting an audience. You know, because it's like a lot of times it's easy to book an improv night because you have 4 teams and each team has 5 people on it at least.
Right.
And there's all of a sudden you have fucking 20 people who are promoting the show.
Well, but most people in Chicago don't really promote their shows. I mean, there becomes a point where
but it's Facebook and it's
and there becomes a point like you're doing so many shows in Chicago. If you really told your friends every time you're doing a show. They really start to
hate you.
They hate you. They really start to hate you. So like you
probably more because you're doing so many shows than the fact that you're promoting them all.
Exactly. Yeah. You know, there's all many reasons that they hate that you're asking them all the time or telling them all the time about your shows. So you stop telling people about shows. So yeah, there's 20 people on, but you got 20 people who are like, I can't plug another show to my fucking friends.
Yeah, the only time I send out shit is for the big ones.
Yeah,
the
totally.
ones that I'm really proud of.
Yeah.
And Bar Prov, I might make a status update. Be like, hey, Ginger's tonight.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't send it to people specifically as an invite or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, let's. So you're here. You've been moved 4 years.
Yeah. So it was at the Spot Bar. Is where I did that first show. And I found out about the Chicago Improv Network and got on it. And
Jesus! Nobody's brought up CIN yet in the podcast.
No? CIN was great, dude. I love the CIN because
used to be.
I don't know what it is now, but when I first moved here, it was all the people who were having improv nights were just like on there, like, hey, looking for groups.
Yeah.
And so I'd email all of them and be like, hey, I do this one-man improvised kung fu theater. And people would get back to me and they'd be like, dude, I don't even care if this sucks. I have to see you do it.
Yeah, no, it's a good gimmick, yeah.
And so the Spot was the first person. Aaron Cosbiel was running the Spot at the time.
Aaron, I love Aaron.
And Jim was doing the lights and doing the experiment.
Aaron and Jim, man. Those are some cats. I like those guys.
And Caleb D. Mancini.
I know Caleb as well. Man, these are some names.
Yeah, yeah. And they're
all getting shout
there, and they fucking loved it, and they asked me to come back whenever I wanted to. And so I just met people doing that, and... yeah, I mean, I literally just from the ground up. I didn't do I didn't do any of the classes or anything like that for the first, I didn't even start conservatory until I was here for 3 years. Yeah,
and so we'll kind of jump forward here a little bit, and so you're doing that, you're building a resume, and then we start doing you fall in with the Rebellion group. You start kind of like. Fucking around. I met you because I was your coach in your wrestling team. That's right, and then. From there, it was.
This was after Rebellion. I think you were just ending Rebellion or something like that.
Did you not play in Hodgepodge? I felt like no, you didn't.
I don't think I did.
No, I don't think you did play in Hodgepodge. Then you, sir, are a lucky man. Towards the end there, it was not fun.
Is that the one with Caponegro and?
No. That was a different show. The Rebellion was we did. Rebellion. We did Playground IO.
I think I might have seen you guys once. I think I saw you guys. You had a band.
Yeah, Death by Thunder.
At the Playground.
Man, yeah, dude, yeah. This is all new territory then for you. I can't wait for this. I guess I just automatically lump you because I have my group of friends and most of them. Just at point. I mean, Hodgepodge was like 50 fucking people.
Well, you and I got along right off the bat.
Yeah. No, we hit it off. I mean, we have similar tendencies. So yeah, now we have.
That's what we'll call them in parentheses. Similar tendencies.
That's the name of our 2-man show.
It means we're both white.
We're very white.
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I'm black.
And so now we're at Locked and Loaded here. We're gonna get it going. You are on the second night, September 10th.
September 10th.
I paired you with the Stevenses, Kevin and
Alex Mack.
Who I hope to be interviewing shortly as well.
Yes, Alex Mack. Good people. Kevin Pomeroy, one of the funnest people I know.
Yep, we're gonna have other probable sit-ins on that night as well. People with golden tickets. All of the improvisers have the option to show.
I got the golden ticket.
It allows them to get into the show for free and maybe play if they show up early.
Oh, what was his name? Charlie!
What the fuck just happened? We're done. We've veered so far.
I've got the golden ticket.
We've veered so far.
Charlie!
This interview's
You've got the the golden ticket!
We've talked enough. Where can they find you, Ryan? Where can they find you, learn more about you?
You can find me. I am an ensemble member at Comedy Sports Chicago.
Great, plug it.
You can see me there most Saturday nights, as well as Thursday nights. Friday nights for the next 2 weeks at the Donnie Skybox. 10:30s on Fridays. Stevens Family. One of the dirtiest, most raucous shows in the city.
They'll rape you.
Yes, at least your brain. At least your brain and your eye holes.
They will fuck your eye holes.
Yeah, Belmont Transfer. That's about it.
Okay, and you're on Facebook. Do you have a Twitter handle?
I don't.
You're not Twitter?
I don't have the internet phone, and what am I gonna do? Send a tweet from my home computer?
That's so lame.
Who does that?
Who does that? Nobody does that.
Sits at home and just retweets. Hey, still in front of the computer.
Do you know how many people are going to retweet this fucking podcast? No, they won't because they hate us.
Oh, right. Hashtag my balls.
Hashtag my balls. Thank you for listening.
MYBALLS. Hashtag my balls.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for listening. We'll have more podcasts coming up soon. And catch Ryan Williams at Locked and Loaded. We're done.
Holler.